Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. 712 days last the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Journalists of investigative media project bihus.info claim to have identified those who were responsible for the illegal wiretapping and filming of their employees in hotel rooms during a Christmas party last year. According to them, it was the Security Service of Ukraine, the same law enforcement agency that opened an investigation into the circumstances of this illegal wiretapping and filming. A video supposedly showing bihus.info investigation media staff members abusing illegal drugs at a New Year party was posted online on 16th of January. The video features wiretapped phone calls about purchase of different drugs and video of their alleged consumption. Denis Bihus, who runs the project but currently serves in the military, released a video message apologizing. He said that regrettably some of the team had violated the project's principles and values and tough changes would follow. Later he also commented on the situation with covert filming and wiretapping. Bihus claimed that the editorial team had been under surveillance for about a year and promised to find those responsible. Reportedly, they were identified with the help of security camera footage on the resort where bihus.info members were staying on 27 December 2023. The journalists claimed that the Department for the Protection of National Statehood of the Security Service of Ukraine was behind the operation. Judging from the footage, the technical department of the Security Service was also involved in the installation of surveillance devices. The operation was ongoing for 6 days. At first, members of the Security Service arrived at the resort twice under the disguise of commissioning a corporate event. Their goal was to inspect the rooms the bihus.info members would check into. Then on 26th of December, under the guise of holding their own corporate event, 30 people brought large suitcases likely containing hidden cameras, which had to be installed. After bihus.info left the resort on the evening of 28th of December, another group of men checked into most of the rooms where the journalists were staying, apparently to remove the hidden equipment. The journalists questioned the need to use such resources in a country at war to illegally follow and film a group of media representatives. This fact has already caused a public outcry. Earlier, President Volodymyr Zelensky has dismissed Roman Semenchenko, the head of the Department for the Protection of National Statehood of the Security Service of Ukraine, responsible for the illegal surveillance. The law enforcers released a statement after publication of the journalist material, saying that the leadership had made some decisions concerning the personnel of the department, reports Detector Media. The Security Service of Ukraine adds that some members of bihus.info were clients of known drug dealers. Specifically, there is information about a camera person who was involved in a criminal case about illegal manufacturing, production, purchase, storage, transportation, shipment, or trafficking of drugs. They claimed that surveillance was part of their investigation into that. We would really appreciate if you could rate us, ideally with 5 stars, and leave a glowing review in the app where you are listening to this podcast: Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and others. This way more people would learn about the podcast and truth about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Yesterday, Ukraine's Minister for Veterans Affairs Yulia Laputina submitted a letter of resignation, reports ICTV. In his evening video address, President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky, who yesterday continued his regional travels, this time to Dnipro, Kropyvnytsky and Cherkasy region, said that he discussed with Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal the enhancement of the policy of veterans. In particular, steps that will resolve the existing problems in this area and will reboot it. Quote, "With all due respect to the minister, this is a matter of management only. Ukraine needs strength, fresh energy and sufficient leadership in every sector. We must win this war, and we have to do maximum this year, do even more than possible," unquote. Ukraine's Defense Intelligence Chief Kyrylo Budanov called on Canada to transfer more than 80,000 decommissioned CRV-7 missiles to Ukraine, which are to be disposed of there, reports Ukrainska Pravda. Budanov said the missiles would be used in Ukrainian attack helicopters and ground launchers to destroy Russian tanks and artillery. He said Ukraine has discussed the issue with Canada but is still waiting for decision. Canadian officials have said they are considering the request but warned that CRV-7 are already outdated and could be dangerous to use and transport. At the same time, experts commented that since the missiles use solid fuel, they could be safe provided that they were stored properly and not exposed to moisture or contamination. The missile was produced in the 80s but taken out of service in the early 2000s. Thank you for listening to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast. We're a commercial initiative of just two people and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we are getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.